we are.
Let's go. Big day today.
Throwing Hands podcast, man. I can't believe we're here.
We're here with the Bosnian Menace, Denis Puric. Let's go. 1FC's very own.
Yes, sir.
Staying busy, fresh home from Thailand. Hometown hero. So, here we go. Let's go, baby.
Woo! Boys, thank you, boys. Thank you for coming, man. Jeremy's been a minute.
Yeah.
We know each other for quite a while now, I think. Fucking went to high school together.
Yeah, man. And that's what we're interested. We like chopping it up with the fighters, talking the fights, but the journey is sometimes overlooked. So, we're interested. We're interested where you came from, before Canada. Were you training when you were in Bosnia?
So yeah, the way I started was in a refugee camp. During the Bosnian War, we all fled the city, and when we were fleeing, the other army from like the Croatian army stopped us, told us we couldn't really go any further to turn back. So we're like, well, we can't go back. People are trying to kill us back there. So we basically camped out wherever they stopped us. Where they stopped, it was about 30,000 people that fled the city, and so when they stopped us, basically said we can't go back there. They're trying to kill us there. They're like, okay, we can't go any further, so we're okay, we'll just camp out here. It's fine. So we stayed in that refugee camp for about 4 or 5 months. So when we were in the refugee camp, you had to keep the kids entertained somehow. So there was a guy teaching karate out of this little barn, right? So my mom made me like a uniform from curtains, window curtains.
Oh shit.
Just with hands, stitch, what, some stitch it up. So that's where I started. Moving forward, we escaped. There was a guy smuggling people from the refugee camps into the next countries next door, right? Croatia obviously wasn't it. I was born in Slovenia, right? So, and we have lots of family there. So in Slovenia during that time there was no war, right? So the guy who was smuggling people basically got paid from some of our family members from Slovenia to get us to smuggle us to the borders, right? To Slovenia. So what happened was, one night late, we met at a spot, and then he drove us closer to the border. Then we had to get out of the car, run into the woods, and then basically cross the border through the woods and not go to the border because we're having no paperwork. Nothing, right? Everything is lost in the war. So about 10 kilometers, man, we had to go through these woods, got to the other side, and then the signal was to basically get a bunch of like grass, throw it on the road, so when the guy drives by, that's the mark where we are, like, right? Kind of X marks.
Yeah.
Everything, right? So
how did you know that was going to be the?
Well, that's what we talked about, right? Like when you get to the other side, make sure you get a bunch of grass and put it on the ground, so I know like that's how I'm gonna spot where you guys are, right?
How old were you at this point?
This was 1995 or 6. So I was like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old.
So it's you, your mom, and your dad.
So we got to the other side. We put a bunch of grass on the road, but then a truck would drive by and just blow all the grass. So my dad did that a few times. And then the guy actually drove by a few times, but he couldn't stop because there's people behind us. We had to turn around, go up and down a few times, right? So finally he stopped. We got in the car, boom, drove us to Slovenia. We got there. And then when I got to Slovenia, I actually joined the Taekwondo club, right? It was a Bosnian guy who was teaching. It was called Tiger Taekwondo.
What was his name?
His name was Mohammed.
Shout him out.
Yeah. Shout out Mohammed.
Let's go.
Legend.
Freak. He actually still competes. He's like 65, close to 70 years old. He still competes.
Maybe I did see him like your thing today.
Yeah. He's a very supportive guy. He's the guy that introduced me to the martial art game, and of course, big shout out to my coach Mohammed. Yeah. So basically, started there. Was living in Slovenia for a bit because I was born in Slovenia, but when I was born in Slovenia, it was during Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia obviously fell apart during the war when it started because when the war started, actually the first shots went off in Slovenia. So my dad got worried, took off to Bosnia. not knowing that that's where the big war is going to be. And so we got there, the war started, they closed the borders, now we're stuck. Now all the paperwork, like, it's not valid anymore because Yugoslavia fell apart and we had Yugoslavian passports. Right. So when we got smuggled back into Slovenia, I started going to school for the first like 6 months, and then they told me you can't attend school anymore because I wasn't a citizen of the country. They wouldn't let me attend school. So then we tried to get the paperwork. They didn't give us the paperwork. My dad, I don't know if you know my dad, but he's very short fused, wild, right? So he started looking for other ways out, right? So first thing we did, the United States was accepting a lot of people at the time, from these war countries, but they wouldn't accept my dad to come in the country. Especially my dad has a lot of family there. My dad has a huge family, so we're trying to go to the United States. Got denied because my dad was actually in the war, right in the front lines. So they denied him because he was one of the soldiers or whatever. And then Canada was accepting a lot of people at the time. So we applied to come to Canada and they accepted us. And then when we got accepted, actually a lawyer that my dad was talking to about my paperwork said, "Oh, I can get you the paperwork now." But that's like, "Fuck you, keep your paperwork. We're going to Canada." So that's how I ended up here. 1997, August 28th, I came to Canada. I actually came to Regina, Saskatchewan. Yeah, right.
So you were what, 13?
I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old when I came to Canada.
Yeah, and then you went to Manitoba too, right?
So then so we lived in Regina for like 8 months, moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba, lived there for like a year and a half, and I came to Hamilton, Ontario, 99, summer 99.
What school did you go to when you came in?
I went straight to Glendale.
So you started in
I started when I came here, I started in high school.
Did you speak any English?
I did when I came to Hamilton. Actually, few months that I went to school in Slovenia, we were learning English, and I always watched like TV English movies and stuff like that. But I didn't know I could speak English until we were on that flight to Canada. And when you're on the flight, they give you some papers to fill out. Right? I didn't know that. First time on an airplane, so my dad's like, "Ask this guy next to you what this is all about." So I'm like, "How am I gonna talk to this guy?" Anyways, I tried, but actually I was speaking English to this guy. I understood what he was saying, so I was kind of shocked myself. I was like, "Shit, pops!" I was speaking English to this guy, right? So he helped us fill out the arrival cards. All right, that's what they were.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so then when I landed there in Saskatchewan, I actually found another Taekwondo club, ITF Taekwondo I was doing at the time. ITF, there's two different kinds of Taekwondo. There's ITF, WTF, right? International Taekwondo Federation and World Taekwondo Federation. Now, WTF is more Olympic style, right? Point sport. ITF is more like a full contact, more brutal.
Winner take all type.
Yeah, and it's also like there's not like it's point sparring, but they don't do point sparring where they stop and call the point. It's like rounds. You do rounds, like 2 3 minute rounds. Depends on how big of a stage you're.
So you might actually see some knockouts in that.
Oh yeah, tons of knockouts.
Yeah.
We were at World Championships in Australia, 2005, and I fought this guy. Fucking popped him in the nose, broke his nose. His nose, fucking bone was like sticking out of his nose like this. Still fighting. Yeah. So it was pretty brutal. Yeah, Taekwondo, man. I was actually one of the best Taekwondo fighters in the country. I was actually 10 years in a row Canadian champion. 10 years in a row.
You don't train too much Taekwondo anymore, right?
Not anymore, man. Since I started, I got introduced to kickboxing, Muay Thai by a guy named Crowlin.
Yeah.
I met him, 2002. So I've been with him for 23 years, man. So when he introduced me to that, I also figured that I can make money because during my Taekwondo days, I was always paying to attend tournaments. So I didn't know you can make money fighting. So he invited me to his house one day. He's like, "Come, we're gonna watch some fights." Get there, and it was a K1 event. And like, "Can make money doing this?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, and that day is like that's when I decided that I wanted to fight in K1, and all my dreams kind of came true, but obviously with hard work, because dedication.
For sure, bro.
No.
For sure. Proud of you too.
Thanks.
Proud of the
Yeah,
whole
100%.
fucking city's proud of you.
Appreciate it, man.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
That's must watch TV when the Menace is on. Fucking shout out to One FC though. They're solid. Put fights on 8 a.m. on a Friday. Fucking love it.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a fun ride with them.
Are you on contract with them?
I am.
Yeah. So how many more fights you got on
I
your
got
contract?
three. I got 3 fights left.
3 more? Do you see a future past that with them?
I don't know, man. One championship's a little bit different. They do things a little bit different than the other sports. Um, I don't. It's kind of hard to say it, but I feel like they're biased sometimes. You know,
Or they're Thai fighters?
they look for more. They look more after the Thais and the Japanese. They got a few British guys that they like. They want to push. Maybe because I'm a little bit older than the other guys. They really like push. But I mean, I've had some great fights. I got what I asked for. The reason why I signed with one was just to fight Raw. During COVID times, not a lot of events was happening. Sitting around waiting for the thing to pass by. I seen one championship. I know about one championship before. Fought in I was a part of I had a contract with Kunlun Fight
Yeah, I've
You
seen
know,
some of those.
during between 2015 and like until COVID started. I lived in China. I was actually a coach for the professional team, and then I also had a contract to fight with them. I had like 6 fight deal per year with them, right? So I was with them for about 3.5, 4 years. So one championship was still around at that time, but they weren't as big as Kunlun Fight. Kunlun Fight had all the big names. They had the good fighters, and obviously COVID happened. They shut down, and then one championship took all those fighters. So that's why they blew up because they have the best highest level of strikers.
Yeah, for sure, man. They do. They're piling up their superstars, like Super Like he was down here kicking it with you.
Yeah.
Obviously the Menace, fucking Rod Tang, Haggerty.
Yeah, they got a lot of good high level strikers, man. So yeah, the only reason why I signed, I was watching one championship one day, and I see this fucking little Asian guy going in there. I'm like, man, that guy reminds me of somebody, you know? And I see myself in him because that's how I used to fight.
Yeah.
Crazy, always trying to put on a show for the fans. He's more of like we call it a Muay mat, which is more of a boxing style Muay Thai fighter. Uses more hands and a pressure fighter. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man. I think if I fight this guy, it would be one of the best fights ever. So I told my boys one night we're actually drinking, like we're like partying at my buddy's house. We're having a few drinks. And I'm like, we're watching the fights, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna fight that guy one day. My boys are like, man, sit your old ass down. You're retired, bro.
Come on.
I have a drink, bro. Don't. I'm like, you'll see.
The boys are supposed to believe.
Yeah, but friends, bro. You get drunk, you talk shit with
Yeah.
each other, and I was like, watch, man, I'm gonna fight this kid one day. Ah, man, don't worry about that, bro. You always just retire, open a gym, and do your thing. That way, I'm like, bro, you'll see, bro. I'm not gonna stop until I fight this guy, right? So as soon as the borders open a little bit, booked my flight to Thailand. Took me two months to get signed. 2 months later, I got signed, and then I fought. I earned my way.
And then after the Rotang fight, you opened the
No, before I opened the gym before the run. I opened February 22. So no, it's been 3 years on 2022.
That's
Okay.
crazy, man. It's crazy too because leading up to that Rotang fight, was it Jacob Smith you fought before? That was a fucking hell of a fight too. And yeah, it was a banger. You put it on him, but it's like that's a Muay Thai fight. And then fast forward to Rotang, now we're going to kickboxing. When I seen that, I'm like, are they trying to protect Rotang or something?
Of course.
Because even when he kept saying, "Oh no, I'm gonna be the one to come forward. I'm gonna kept saying I'm gonna press forward, push the envelope." But then when the fight started, he kind of stood on the outside with his kickboxing. So I feel like he was trolling you a little bit on that.
It wasn't him. I think the company was obviously protecting that. That's their cash cow, right?
Yeah, no,
Ratang is actually one of the nicest human beings in this world, man. Like, after the fight, we obviously, he invited me to his family's house. I got to meet his family. We played soccer together, and But they're definitely trying to protect. I was ranked number 2 in Muay Thai, and I was supposed to be the next guy to fight for the title. But they're like, "Oh, we can't give you the Muay Thai fight, but we can let you fight him in kickbox." Honestly, that
Yeah.
tells you right there that, buddy, like,
Yeah, what's going on here?
yeah, we know you're protecting your boy. Well, whatever, I'll fight him anyway.
Yeah.
Anywhere, anytime, any rules doesn't matter because me, I'm a fighter, bro. That's what I do. I come, I want to fight the best fighters in the world. This is what I signed up for. I don't fucking take fights, with bumps, bro. I want to fight the best, and then not to prove something to anybody, but to prove to myself that I'm one of those guys. Because I've been doing this shit for a long time. I just always wanted to prove to myself that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. So this is the reason why I wanted to fight.
Yeah.
This guy, because at the time he was the best.
Well, yeah, he's been in there with fucking Demetrius Johnson, right? Mighty Mouse. Some people see him as one of the goats of
Oh, for
MMA.
sure.
What did you think about that fight?
I like the rule set. I like how they mix it up a little bit, but I knew as soon as it came to like an MMA round, I knew that DJ's gonna take him down
Yeah.
and sub him somehow because this guy's he's never done no groundwork. You need to fight a guy like DJ. You need a good at least a year or two of just straight wrestling, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's just not easy, bro. And these guys don't wrestle, man. They just kick and elbow and shit, right? So
Yeah, it looked like Rod Tang was clipping him a little bit in that first round.
oh, he caught him. He
Yeah.
caught him. He caught him, man. Again, if it weren't the second round, it would have been a different.
Yeah.
It would have been a different story if it was still an MMA round.
Have you ever met Mighty Mouse?
I haven't, no. Hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind fighting him either. Those mixed
go.
rules. That mixed
Let's-
rules.
Yeah.
But I think he's down now. He's more
Oh, he's tired now.
jiu-jitsu.
right?
He does a lot of jiu-jitsu now. So.
He's on the podcast game
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he's doing.
But yeah, he's definitely fucking something else when it comes to the ground. Everything really.
Oh yeah, he's a goat, man. I think he's the best, well-rounded, mixed martial arts fighter.
Yeah.
Ever to do it.
Yeah, that's fair, man. Can't really argue that.
Yeah. He really just didn't get that shine in the UFC.
No.
man, that he deserved, I think.
I know it's weird
I
to
don't know
see
why.
he's
I don't
won
know
now.
why because I think it's also the western part of the world is a little bit different than over there because the toughest fighters in Asia are our weight class, especially when it comes to Muay Thai, kickboxing. Kickboxing is a lot of like 155ers are very good. Those are that's probably one of the best weight classes. But when it comes to Muay Thai, my weight class is probably the toughest because we have the most guys there are not so big, and we have the best fighters in our weight class when it comes to Muay Thai.
Yeah, I looked at the rankings there yesterday a bit. You got Super Leg and Rod Tank sitting at the top in both Muay Thai and kickboxing. That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
And then you had Super Leg come here, How was that? Talk about that a little bit.
that was great. He actually came to Canada he did a seminar tour in Canada. I guess they were in Toronto. They were like, I've got to see Dennis. So we popped by my gym here. We took some pictures. He was doing a seminar at my coach's acrobatics gym at House of Champions, just in Stony Creek there. And then I was like, what, I'm gonna pop by, maybe help this guy do a seminar. So we had a good chemistry. We were showing stuff together. He doesn't speak English that well. I could translate some of the stuff that we were doing. And we just have good chemistry. We do a little bit of comedy. You gotta make it fun for people that come and participate in the seminar. So, and I think we had a good vibe. I think I was the perfect guy for it. I'm a little bit funny guy, and we had a good chemistry. And then after that, he was like, "Please help me do another seminar in Toronto." So we did one in Toronto, and then we did another one in Montreal. And it was great, man. We went out to eat. Had a few drinks, food, got to chat. Actually, I just like we've crossed paths before, but we never really got a chance to interact and stuff. But this time around, when he came here, it was like. We knew each other forever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It was I was like, yeah. So he's a super nice guy, man. And, very down to earth, very, very humble. He doesn't even know how famous he is, to be honest. Like he'll come here, oh no. Buddy, you're super like,
Yeah.
pound for pound gold, bro. I think he's the best Muay Thai striker, Muay Thai fighter in the world. even though that lost against the Bill, like that doesn't say nothing. Look at all the shit that he's done. He's been basically undefeated until that fight.
Yeah, something special about those Thai fighters out there too. Just the humbleness, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see a lot of trash talk out there, you know.
No, Asia's very they got that like Bushido code kind of thing. Martial arts is different there. You know, it's not like these Westerns that come here, fuck you, talk shit. And no, over there it's all about respect. You know, and if you don't show respect, you're not gonna get respected. You're not gonna be respected. That's not a place you want to be and not be respected. You know what I mean? Because it can also turn bad. So you really gotta over there. They have a different way of life. Especially when it comes to martial arts. Muay Thai is one of those sports where it brings people together. You know, even yeah, you gotta compete, but we're not enemies.
Yeah,
Each other make each other
fellow combatants, right?
exactly
Make each other
make
better.
each other grow. And at the end of the day, it's nothing but respect.
Yeah, you rarely even see the crowd boo there,
No.
too, right? You know how you go watch the UFC, as soon as they see a little bit of grappling,
Yeah.
everybody starts going crazy, right?
That's the Western part of it.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit different.
Different.
It's definitely different.
I like
Night
it.
of night and day.
Yeah, it's a different life out there for sure. What about I seen an article of you I know there's like a program out there for people in jail that got to fight for reduced sentences.
Yeah.
I heard you stepped up for one of those fights.
So I actually trained with Buakaw Bunchamin, who's the goal. No, he's like the king of Muay Thai. They call him. I think one of the most successful Muay Thai fighters that's ever lived. And I just kind of joined his gym. He invited me to come to his gym, be a part of his camp. I was actually the only white guy to represent his camp at that time. So it was 12. And then one day he's like, "Hey, you want to fight?" I said, "Yeah, what do you fight?" Like at the jail. Jail. Fuck talking about. We go to jail. I thought maybe they just have an event at a prison, maybe for the inmates. It's actually a televised event. It's called Fighting. The promotion was called Fighting Back Wall, but there's some documentaries about it. It's like prison fight in Thailand. So it's an actual penitentiary that we fight. They bring foreigners, so it's like kind of like the Thais versus the foreigners inside the prison. And if they win, they get a chance at reduction of time reduction.
And then just
Wow.
bring real fighters.
Bring real fighters from all over the world.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
So I was like, okay, yeah, fucking go smash the guy over there. But they're not thinking like, bro, all these guys do is train. And they go, fuck else are they gonna?
They got to fight for their freedom.
So, and they also represent the country. So it's like Canada versus the world kind of thing in the prison. Wow. Right? Or sorry, Thailand versus the world. So I fought a guy actually who was before his jail bid. He was one of the best fighters. I didn't know that. Right? He was one of the best fighters. He was actually a Lumpini champion. And I found this out after the fight. Because I went in there, got my ass whooped, actually. Finished the fight. Not like I didn't get knocked out or nothing, but the guy outclassed me, for sure. Then when I got back to the gym, they're like, oh, that book. I was like, no, man. Like, don't be down on yourself. This guy's a very good fighter. We know about him. He was a Lumpini champion. He was like, bro, he's like my level.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, fuck. The guy almost broke my arm. He was a southpaw. He kept throwing this fucking kick to my arm, and I swear if I took another kick, bro, I would have snapped. So I had to like change my shit, and then, like have a different tactic going into this fight because the guy almost broke my fucking arm.
That's crazy, bro. It's just a crazy fucking thing to put your head around. Being from Canada, it's like fight your way out of jail. That's fuck.
Yeah,
Way to give them a
I
second
think-
chance,
I
baby.
think- I
From
think-
Thailand.
I think all the countries should have a program like that for inmates because you got some of these people they get especially in the states they get 30, 50 years for fucking not
One bad
non-violent
night.
crimes.
Yeah.
Violent crimes. Like I get it if you give them that time for violent crimes, but the guy should not be getting over 20 years for a non-violent crime. So
Yeah.
I think those people should get some kind of program like this. They should have some kind of program to help get their sentences reduced. I think the fighting shit would be perfect because fighting, man. There's one thing. One thing about fighting. Everybody thinks it's violence. It's this. It's carnage. One thing about fighting is you learn so much. You learn how to like. I would advise every child in the world to take martial arts because You learn you learn discipline. You learn how to control yourself. You learn a lot, especially if you have a good coach who guide you. I learned so much about life through martial arts, and if I didn't do it, I think I would be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Martial arts have taught me how to fucking be a gentleman. Because I know what I'm capable of. I don't have to prove it, but I think I proved it enough growing up.
Yeah, bro.
Right? But I was a little fucking shitbag growing up, but I did a lot to protect my friends. I was always there for my friends or somebody disrespected. But that's also the place we grew up in.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
rough. It was a rough town back in the day.
For real.
Maybe.
It's a little different now, eh?
It's a little different for sure.
Talk about that a little bit. How did you and Jeremy meet? You guys went to the same high
We
school.
went to the same high school together.
Do you
These
remember
guys
how you
were
met?
these guys were the weed men. Yeah, they had the best weed. Him and Jim Jones, man.
Yeah, that's Jim Jones.
Watch it, Freddie.
Watch it, Freddie.
And so yeah, we smoked a lot of weed in high school. I don't even know if we went to high school, but we went around the school.
Yeah. You catch me in the locker area.
Yeah.
That's
Went
about
on.
it.
Jeremy, yo, send that fucking purple shit, bro.
Didn't go to high school, went to school high.
That's right.
That's right, bro. Mr. Lee's auto too. You had that. You had the white 240 Nissan 240 SX.
Everybody talks about that.
That was classic. Bro. You were the only one in high school who had a whip.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
True.
in fuck grade 10. You're following up to auto class.
Yeah, true.
Working on your own shit.
Yeah.
They had that orange cleaner to get that smell off, afterwards.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Did that fucking teacher smoke weed to Mr. Lee, or was it the other guy? It was another guy.
Forster.
Probably.
He
Shut up,
this
Forster.
guy, you know.
We're fucking joint together now.
Fuck.
Glendale was fun times, man.